Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boys Mo and Lottie, and this is the Supercast. The Supercast where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media. That's movies, TV shows, video games. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all that good and nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast today, do us a favor, get down there and hit like on this video. Man, we are living in a post-Deadpool world, but also there's a lot of comic book stuff going down right now. Umbrella Academy just dropped, so did Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Cape Crusader was like a week ago, and we got plenty more to look forward to. So it's a good time to be a fan of comic book stuff. So before we get into this week's news, do want to bring in our good friend Lottie. Lottie, my friend, how you doing today? And what you been up to that's nerdy?
Oh man, I have been grinding the shit out of Elden Ring. I found my swag and love again for Elden Ring again, and I've just been playing it for like the last week. I want to say the last week I've put in about 40% of the hours that I've put in before Elden Ring. Like the 2 years of me playing Elden Ring, I've already put in like 40% of those hours.
God damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you must be playing on like the super highest difficulty.
Well, it doesn't really have
it doesn't have that.
It's just it's just the game is just hard as shit.
I can't. You know what? I've kind of like sort of, not I want to say abandoned, but sort of put down ukulele because I was like, nah, these N64 level difficulties ain't for me right now. I got things to do. I like the game though. Guess what I did? Guess what I started, Lottie? Believe it or not, I started playing Marvel's Avengers, and now I understand why you understood and had affection for Miss Marvel. I get it. I already had that anyway because of the comic books. But if you first were exposed to Miss Marvel by Marvel's Avengers, you should like the character. Like
the game is it's crazy that I remember they were talking about it. They were like, how is it that the game is so well written? But they couldn't get the gameplay to stay consistent.
Yeah. It's fine so far. I've got they basically released all the content before they closed the game down. So I want to work through it at some point. It's been fun-ish. Very much of a grind though. So I don't know how much fun. Like it's a grind in the sense that, you're just mashing a bunch of buttons and, maybe you know what you're doing, but it's not as fun or rewarding as like, say, a Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
So which is unfortunate. But it also has kind of encouraged me, I guess, in my mind, once I get a decent way into this, to install the Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League and see.
Do not buy that game.
It was free.
Get it cheap.
It was free,
okay.
So I'm gonna play it for free. But I'm just interested to see what's up. But yeah, that's been good stuff, and I've been watching some episodes of Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's been fun so far, and I plan to start watching Umbrella Academy. So I got a lot of stuff going on right now. Oh, guess what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to go see Borderlands. So I cannot wait to talk about that. Because I'm just trying I'm punishing myself. I hurt myself just to see if I can feel. So Lottie, I need to hear your opinion on this. This is unrelated to anything superhero. Did you see that shit with the Australian breakdancer? Did you?
Oh my! Listen,
I'm you did see it.
I've said this multiple times, and that was finally where people were like, you know what, Lottie, you're right. Yeah, I think the Olympics needs to do a massive downsizing when it comes to what they consider an Olympic sport. I've always told people the only thing I consider Olympic sports is track, field, swimming, and the team sports. Everything else, I'll give you some of the like, the diving and stuff because those been around for a long time. But all this other crap, just
I mean,
come on,
I,
guys.
I think
Stop.
if rhythmic gymnastics can be in there, then breakdancing can, because rhythmic gymnastics is bullshit too. But if you do rhythmic gymnastics, good for you. But nah. So, but I saw that, and I can't even bring myself to watch the whole thing. They're saying that this woman, she's like a PhD in something, and she studies this sort of part of the culture, and that she intentionally did bad. And I'm like, intentionally or not, you just look like an idiot. You made
And
you made everything look stupid. And which is funny because the other breakdancers did look really cool, actually.
but also because of her, breakdancing has been removed.
Yeah, I
It's not
mean,
going to be
I
until
don't know if I don't
2028.
know that it's her, but I think the thing is, like, they actually have provisional sports all the time. Every Olympics has a few trial sports or whatever. So,
Mhm.
but I kind of looked at it as more of, if you were doing taking it as a joke, it was a stupid joke and you look like an idiot. If you were being serious, what the fuck, Australia? But I still am going to ask, what the fuck, Australia? I think the entire nation needs to answer for this because that was ridiculous. And
Yeah, it was
and
disgusting.
it was ridiculous because it's almost like you're making fun of some of it. And if you
Yeah,
are, I take issue with that because breaking is actually like a real thing that's really important to some people. And it's to our culture,
yeah.
Black American culture, it's actually a real thing. And you're sitting up here looking like an idiot, you know, with your cultural appropriation. You're not even doing it right. At least be like, if you're going to culturally appropriate, do something good with it. They're Koreans. You ever see Korean breakdancing crews and they kick
Yeah.
ass. So like, do that. Don't do whatever that bullshit was. So feel bad about yourself, Ray Gun. You suck. Anyway, this is the Supercast where we talk about superhero stuff, and we got some good stuff going on. The another big bag fumble on the part of Warner Brothers. Big surprise when it comes to Batman Cape Crusader. Deadpool and Wolverine kicking ass and taking names at the box office. Colin Kaepernick he needs to take a knee right now because he doing some bullshit when it comes to a certain comic book company that he's trying to start. Brad Winderbaum talks about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and what it could mean for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then we're going to talk about some highlights from D23, Ironheart, Daredevil Born Again, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Eyes of Wakanda, and Marvel Zombies. And then we will review the Agatha All Along trailer that dropped for D23. So, Lottie, you ready, man?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's get into this. Lottie, we sometimes talk about bag fumbling, and when it comes to comic book stuff, probably the biggest bag fumble of all time when it comes to this stuff, it's got to be Jonathan Majors, right? It's got to be him.
Oh yeah.
Huge bag fumble. But you know what? Other people are like, let's see if we can also fuck it up, for ourselves, or maybe not so much of a fuck up in that way, but huge bag fumble on the part of Warner Brothers Discovery because you and I and many other people, turned on Amazon Prime Video, saw a Batman cartoon made by the people that made Batman the Animated Series, watched 10 episodes, had a great time, and really highly rated Batman Cape Crusader. And what I saw for many people, and I asked this question myself, even though it was more rhetorical, I know the answer. But why the hell was this on Prime Video instead of Max? Or at least Cartoon Network or something? How did they allow this to happen? How did they allow a top tier, in peak Batman, a great feather in the cap of whoever has it show like Batman Cape Crusader. How did they allow that to be on Amazon Prime Video and not on Max? Like that's the question here. Is this a, how big of a bag fumble is this? Lottie, what do you think?
Oh yeah, 100% fumble in the bag. I have no idea what they were thinking. What they were thinking. Like, still to this day, don't understand why there's people still trying to die on that fence of Penguin being a chick. Guys, let it go. That is not the hill that you should die on. Let it the hell go. But
Are you talking about thick penguin? Thing?
I mean,
Oh man.
the show's great. If you literally are letting that keep you from watching probably the best Batman animated show that we've had in almost 20 years, you get some help, man. Please. Hey, come on, man. Get some damn help. It's clearly in another universe, guys. Let it go. They're like, they're trying to destroy our childhood. It's clearly in an alternate reality, guys. Oh my god.
I didn't hear all this bullshit talk when it comes to Matt Reeves as the Batman, whose penguin is clearly different than the one from Batman the Animated Series. He's clearly different from the one from the 60s series. He's clearly different than the one from the from the Tim Burton Batman. He's different even than the ones from the comic books. The Colin Farrell's penguin is vastly different. I hear all this bitching about it then. I mean, I don't understand the problem with gender flipping, I really don't. From all these, all these dudes on the internet complaining about seeing more women on screen, why the fuck would that be a problem to you? I don't get it. Just anyway, that's we're a feel for our field here. They're being weirdos about it. Why is this a bag fumble? I have two thoughts on this. One of them is an absolute bag fumble in the sense that if your whole point is to have must-see TV for your streamer, this was must-see TV for your streamer, right? This is something that would you could only see there. We know nerds on the internet would have, at least for, a month, have subscribed to Max just to watch this. We know for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bag fumble in that. Also, just having a feather in your cap. This is a highly rated thing. You can put that up on the marquee or wherever on your streaming service or wherever you can advertise for it. It can drive people to your streamer. So that's a bit of a fumble. It also sort of reinforces this. It reinforces this idea that David Zaslav, one, doesn't respect animation as content, but two, isn't particularly interested in anything that's not blockbuster. So he's up there doubling down on fucking J.K. Rowling and her shit. He's doubling, despite the controversy surrounding her. He's all in for live action DC, right? And he's bankrolling certain movies, but other smaller things like Coyote versus Acme, even an upcoming what is it, a Looney Tunes animated movie is being basically distributed by a completely different studio because they basically bought the rights to it because Zaslav's like, no, we don't want to spend the money to put this out so somebody else can buy this from us, and they're doing that. So that
and here's my thing for that about David Zaslav, and I'm just gonna say it just plain and simple: you're stupid. And you know why I say he's stupid for that? Because when he became the head of Max, what were the two most popular shows during that year, 2021? Invincible
mm-hmm.
and Arcane. animated shows.
Well,
You're stupid.
yeah. Well, the thing,
You're-
there's a counter. So I did have 2 points. So my counterpoint to that. So one, it is a bag fumble in the sense of having top flight content that can be exclusive to your platform. But on the other hand, this is all about money. This is entirely an economic decision. And when they came on, remember this was already in production, well into production when Discovery bought Warner Brothers. So there was no reason to stop it. But they said straight up, if you can't find somebody to distribute it elsewhere, it's just going to be shelved, and we'll take the tax write-off. So the idea that since Zaslav has taken over Warner Brothers has been, we need to make money at what we're doing, and we don't make money by putting stuff straight to the streamer. That's why you're seeing Max exclusives are actually now HBO exclusives. You know, they're going to stream on Max, but they're going to HBO because that's where they make money, right? That's why you see Warner Brothers. Like, if you go on Netflix right now, you can watch Justice League, the animated shows. They're licensing out. You can watch The Flash on Netflix right now. You can watch. You remember there was stuff. You can watch Aquaman on Disney Plus right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, so the entire idea here is, okay, we don't care about exclusivity on our streamer. We need to make money from these things, and so we're going to push them out, or at least sell the rights or whatever. In this case, Prime straight up said, we'll just buy outright. This is just going to be our, property to show that you guys created for us. So in a sense, it's also not a bag fumble because they made money on it. And that's their entire thought process is it needs to make money. We need to sell what we can. All of these, and here's the other thing. As much as you and I liked the show, and many other people, I saw almost universal praise for this show. It's got great Rotten Tomatoes, all that stuff, right? Cool. It's an animated property, and its viewership is not that big. I guarantee you. In fact, I would say its viewership is less than X-Men 97. If for no other reason, because they dropped it all at once. So when it comes to audience capture, it's not as big as our corner of the internet thinks it is. It is, in terms of critically, it's an excellent show. But in terms of viewership and ratings, it's not. So in a way, it's a very smart decision to let somebody else foot the bill, so to speak, and still basically have it be an advertisement for DC. Because if people love this show, they'll want to watch more Batman, right? They'll be like, oh man, that was great. What's more Batman I can watch? Oh, it's on Max. Or, another Batman thing is coming out in the theater. I better go see the Batman 2, right? Or, hey, the Joker Part 2 is coming out. I need to go see. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of, when you look at it from that perspective, it's actually a really fucking smart thing to do. And it's low risk because if it sucked, it'd just be a throwaway thing on Prime and whatever, right? But since it's winning, it's just advertisement for what Warner Brothers is going to be doing with DC going forward. So like I said, sometimes we have to step away from our investment in these things as nerds and kind of look at the bigger picture of what's actually going on. As much as I don't like David Zaslav and what he's been doing with Warner Brothers and shelving projects and stuff, I cannot deny that there's a certain kind of intelligence at work when it comes to what they decide to push off on other streamers, and that ultimately they can still kind of get paid twice essentially for what's happening. So either way, I think I'm just glad we had the show at all. Glad thank you Jeff Bezos, while you're destroying our world with your horrible big corporation, you're also delivering great entertainment. I appreciate it. So anyway, you got to go check out Batman Crusader. It's good. So speaking of big wins, also Lottie, it's got to be said, Deadpool and Wolverine are pegging the box office so hard right now. It's got to be International Women's Day, or actually, I guess they'd be getting pegged. Whatever. The point is, they are all up in the box office. They are making all the money. They're like male strippers, at a bachelorette party. All the singles are flying at them, and to the tune of $1 billion, and counting. By the way, it's currently Deadpool and Wolverine is the number 2 R-rated film in terms of box office of all time. But Joker, the first Joker, ain't gonna be number 1 for too much longer. I give it. I'd say, let's see, what is today? Is Monday. In 4 days, it'll be bigger than Joker, the first Joker. It will become the number 1 R-rated movie of all time. Well deserved, I'd say. Lottie, what did you say the ceiling was going to be for this?
I said 1.5.
Okay, that would be. I don't know if it's gonna hit there. I think it could, but it's really close to the first, because the first Joker didn't. I think it made less than 1.1 billion. This movie's definitely going to top that. In fact, 1.25 is not out of the question. It's
Where is it right now?
As of now, it's 1.03 maybe $1 billion. Yeah,
Marvel Jesus.
$1 billion $30 million. And I think Joker 2 is Joker 1 is $1.06 billion. So it's, or 69, something like that. So it'll definitely get that. Lottie, nobody needs to pick up the phone. I think everybody in the world saw this coming. But can you believe this? It's nearing $500 million just in the United States. It's 536 mil worldwide and counting. This is a huge win, and yet people are still trying to downplay this. The usual suspects trying to make it out like somehow Marvel's still losing. But I don't know. How are you feeling about this? Well deserved? Are you trying to go see this again? Where do you stand by that 1.5 billion?
It's 2 weeks now, right? Or this is going on the third.
It's going on its third week. I think it just third weekend just passed.
Maybe not 1.5, but it'll probably get 1.3. And I do want to see the movie again. It was like, I don't think people understand. Across the Spider-Verse was a pretty, like, when I went there, it was a pretty good crowd. Guardians of the Galaxy was pretty. I've never seen horror theater, CMX, so packed. I had to park in a Walmart parking lot. Well, not Walmart, like Bass Pro Shop.
Wow.
It was that packed. And my brother bought the tickets ahead of time. I was like, I don't know if you need to do that. When he showed up, I was like, thank God you bought those tickets. Like, I haven't seen that in like 5 years, man. I think the last time I seen a movie theater that packed. No, I won't say 5 years.
No Way Home.
Spider-Man, No Way Home. So it's been about 3 years. It's been 3 years since I've seen a movie theater. Let me tell you something. Younger Gen X and millennials came to that fucking theater. We represented that. All I saw, I didn't see a single teenager when I went to go watch it. And we watched it on a Friday night. It was a bunch of 30, 40-year-old men and women decked out. I mean, when you make a movie that's for us, oh, we'll show up. Oh man,
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little teary-eyed at the end. Like, you know, that post credit scene where it showed all the actors like all the way back in '99 working on these movies. That alone, they should make $1 billion. Like, just that alone deserves $1 billion.
Yeah. I think they knew what they had on their hands. This I think it's pretty clear they knew what they had on their hands. And I think a lot of good things are going to come out of this. I mean, Marvel. I don't. I've never been. And you know this one that thought, oh, you know, Marvel's falling off. Of they. I mean, they are. I feel like phases 4 and 5 are pretty much about on the same level as phase 2 in terms of hits and misses and all that stuff. But you know, whatever. This was kind of an inevitable. It was a sequel to a very celebrated series, but also the allure of getting Deadpool and Wolverine into the MCU proper, even if they don't necessarily interact with certain heroes. It's all, you know, there's a mix in there to kind of get people interested to show up. And then it's just, you know, it's got good writing on a very simple premise. You know, it's a simple premise that explores character well. So I mean, I'm not surprised by this. I think what will surprise me is if your estimate becomes correct. And that's, which, by the way, it's not out of the question, but I feel like it's unlikely because it needs to find basically $400 million. And I just don't feel like it has the push behind it to get there. But 1.3 is not, it's not unreasonable. I think like I said, 1.25 is, to me, is more likely, which will still put it as one of the probably top 15 or so, you know, box office. Maybe because I think the $1 billion club is something like 25 or 30 movies. I think it will put it in like at least in the top 20, or something like maybe 15 movies that have made $1 billion, which is nothing to sneeze at. So all around, the other thing is, we can't deny that Ryan Reynolds is just, people love him, and we can't deny that people love Hugh Jackman, and I think people had forgot how much they loved because it's been years. Like Deadpool 2 came out like 5 years ago, that right? Something like that.
And
Logan came out like 8 years ago. It came out like 8 years ago. People forgot how much they really love these guys playing these characters. And I think when people went and saw it, and they're like, oh shit. And they told other people, that's why this thing has crossed $1 billion. They told other people, like, no, you got to go see. And people are remembering why they like these characters. And to the point that I think this isn't the last time we've seen, definitely not Deadpool, but probably not Wolverine either, in the MCU. So great stuff to look forward to. I think we're going to keep
90
till you're 90. But we'll keep up with this until it kind of like ends its box office run and see if my prediction or Lottie's prediction were true. So we'll keep an eye and let you guys know all about that then. So moving on to, I don't even know how to say it. Lottie, let's take a knee. Take a knee for Colin Kaepernick. And I said that on purpose, damn it, because when I agree with somebody, I want to let people know, and when I disagree with somebody, I gotta let them know too. And Colin Kaepernick, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, no, not protesting, not none of that stuff. I'm not. My problem is he is now the CEO of an AI company that's supposed to be making comic book and manga stuff using AI. And I fucking hate it. Fucking hate it.
You know, like, you better be careful. You better be careful, because you heard that there's a high chance that a lot of governments around the world are going to start making it that AI cannot use like AI cannot use other people's work.
I
Like
mean,
I
that
mean like it
is.
cannot learn from other people's work.
I mean, that to me, the there's so much going into that that it's hard for me to kind of delve into the issues in a reasonable way. The point being is that there's the problem with AI, and we've talked about it before, is that the AI doesn't have a fucking original idea. None, it never has an.
No.
It needs to see other things first. So it essentially becomes a kind of an elaborate tracing machine, if that makes sense, in the
Yeah.
sense that it can use stuff it's traced before to sort of, make some kind of amalgamation of some kind of quote original image, but it really is just tracing multiple images into something else. So, but this is kind of the way these tech bros are trying to sell this shit. And he, like I said, he's not just financing this. He's a CEO of this, and I'm sure he thinks he's doing something good. Like, oh, traditionally people haven't had, they've had barriers to entry into comics and to manga, and now we're just going to kind of help make it easier for them to get in. To which I say, yeah, the barrier is the fucking ability to draw. That's the barrier, to have talent to create art. See, Lottie, if I wanted to make a comic book, I could either learn to draw worth a damn, or I could pay somebody else that can draw to draw my shit. And they're just saying, well, why don't we just get rid of the artist and we'll just have the computer do it? And again, the computer has no original ideas. It is only reproducing shit it's seen before. So in essence, if you're not paying the people that it's being trained on, you are stealing their work.
Yeah.
And all of these people that want to be able to make comics and manga but can't draw, and they want the computer to draw for them, go write a fucking book. Because then you don't have to worry. Write a book.
Hire somebody.
Or either pony up the money for a real professional to make your shit, or write a book. We don't have to worry about all that. Okay, Lottie, I've gone off. Well, what say you, sir?
I don't think Colin Kaepernick even knows how bad this is going to be for him, because like you said, I honestly think in his mind he thinks he's doing, like, he's figured out the secret sauce, but I don't think he fully has, like, understands how much people hate AI art. Like AI art, like AI, anything that is AI driven when it comes to making art, music, or stuff like things in that area is absolutely hated. And I mean, like, there are like companies now that try to use AI to make video games. The video game immediately got like obliterated with negative reviews, or like just in general. I don't think he truly understands the world of hurt that he's walking into. And well, he's gonna find out when no one buys his manga,
But
and
that,
he's
yeah,
going to realize because it's not. I'm telling you, people who, because this is what you got to understand. Manga artists are not, what is those people? They're not casuals. They're hardcore, like comic book artists. They want to know who is making the art, who is doing this. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I don't really care. I'm just going to just watch it because it's cool. No, that's not how it rolls.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he's gonna find out, and he's gonna go like, damn, why is nobody buying my shit?
Yeah, and here's the thing: is it's not that this company is not gonna be like Marvel Comics or anything. That's not really the idea. The idea is to have the tool to build the tools the AI tools that will, and then, people basically pay them for the service. Kind of like how ChatGPT has an image generator, but I'm sure the idea is to have an iterative process so that you can have, you find the look you want and then be able to move forward from there. Even if they're just using it for prototyping or designing characters or anything like that, and that you can then hand off to an artist to actually make something with. That's still problematic, but it would be less so. It would be less so if they handed it to a real artist. But if they want an actual whole comic book, are they creating the tools that can actually make that happen? Because go to an image generator and try to get it to create the same image with the same words twice in a row. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So they're trying, but I think they are hard at work right now on in terms of this sort of thing, and also movies, to figure out how to get AI to actually make a whole movie where everything is consistent, and they're working on it. So, I mean, I get it. I think a lot of people have bought into the tech bros whole spiel about AI. Everything is AI this and AI that, and to its credit, it's useful in some ways. I'm not gonna lie. It has been useful to me in some ways, but
Oh yeah, like AI making work easier, like when it comes to helping you edit videos a lot easier, or it's like a good example I heard of how it could help in gaming. It's like instead of having someone manually put all these trees all over the place randomly, AI will do that. Yeah, that is what AI is meant for. But to literally try to make it where you're getting rid of one of the most beautiful things humans ever created, art. You're, like I said, that is the most unhuman thing that you could possibly do. Like I said, you know how much I hate AI. And if you're trying to do that to get rid of what makes one of the main things that make humanity such a beautiful thing is art, and you just want to desensitize people to that, get out of my
yeah,
face.
the idea is for people who don't have any fucking artistic ability to be able to make quote art by just typing some shit. And
Exactly.
and I'm just like, that is okay, cool, I guess. It's
Disgusting.
I mean, you may as well say I am going to make art by getting a paint by numbers set. Okay, I mean, technically, yeah, but okay, I guess. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on this. We'll let you guys know more about it. Lottie, one more thing before we talk about D23. If you are an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, you should be happy about this what I'm about to talk about, which is Brad Winderbaum, who, as you may know, we know him from, he's talking about X-Men 97. Oh, he's talking about all this other animation. Yeah, but you know what else? He's also in charge of streaming at Marvel Television. And he had this to say about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He said, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does feel like it fits into the MCU's multiverse saga in an incredible way. I want to go down this road with you, I do, but we're just going to take a deep breath for a second. Lottie, he said more, by the way. He's like, I love Clark Gregg. He's like, I really love when it seemed like for a little while that it was tied into the MCU movies and you never really knew. And there are hints that maybe, like, I keep hearing people say, oh, maybe Daisy Johnson is going to show, Quake is going to show up in the MCU or something like that. But with all of the stuff going on with, the Netflix shows being officially canonized, and with the multiverse existing, making it entirely possible that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is part of the multiverse, like it definitely is. And the fact that, of course, there are people that can cross universes. And finally, and I keep saying and finally, the highly likely event that after Secret Wars, there's going to be a soft reboot that brings everything that Marvel has, into one continuity. With all that said, Lottie, how confident are you that Winterbaum is at the least, thinking about how to canonize Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I'm gonna be honest. It should have always, in my opinion, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. should have always been canonized. It was one of the best Marvel TV shows in general, and I just don't know why he just saw this, like, why some of the upper execs
Oh,
just saw the show and was just like, eh.
I got two.
Because
I got a name for you, and it'll explain everything. Ike Perlmutter. He is the reason. The reason why Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't canon to the MCU is because of him. Not because he was like, fuck the MCU movies. No, because Kevin Feige was like, fuck Ike Perlmutter. That's why.
wow.
We talked about it before. We talked about how he almost made Kevin Feige quit.
Yeah.
So when they separated him and gave Feige the movies and left Marvel TV in charge in Ike Perlmutter's hands, that was the split. That's why for a long time we didn't know if Netflix Marvel was real, was really part of the MCU. That's why Cloak and Dagger, right? There's a lot of Marvel TV that got made. Legion, The Gifted, a lot of stuff got made and was never referenced by the Marvel movies for that reason. So Ike Perlmutter, yet another reason to be like, fuck that guy, I'm glad he's gone. So anyway, what do you think though? Do you think we could be seeing Agent Daisy Johnson? Could we be seeing Ghost Rider? Could we be seeing, Agent May? Maybe. Are we gonna get Clark Gregg back? Are we gonna get Coulson back?
Yep. I would love this. The main person I want to see is my dog Coulson. See him back alive. Like you said, Daisy Johnson. To see her. Like you said, if anybody who's not seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., highly recommend you watch it. Great show. Like honestly, it's one of those like sort of cop shows that actually works.
Yeah.
They actually made Sif an actual character. Unlike I have no idea why the MCU just wants to make Sif such.
Just nothing.
Oh, Jesus
yeah, they did
Christ.
Jamie Alexander wrong. I will agree. The Thor movies did her wrong. But also that show gets wacky as hell towards the last seasons. It's so it's weird. It's so, but they, to their credit, they realize like we'll never be able to keep up with the MCU canon because they're never going to tell us what they're going to do. We're never going to get inside information. So fuck it, let's just go do our own thing. And I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that. I really do. Also, they made Inhumans worth a damn. So hey. I don't know.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. We got to keep an eye on this. Brad Winderbaum seems like he's got a lot of kettles on the fire, and hopefully he can make something out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Show some respect to that TV show that I think put in some good work over the years, and definitely kind of kept people going when in between the MCU movies. So anyway, we'll let you guys know if we find out any more information. All right, Lottie, so let's talk about D23 highlights. Unfortunately, there's not any video we can necessarily look at, but they showed some footage, behind the scenes footage and all that stuff. One of the big things is that we learned about Ironheart, or if not learned about it, I think we got a release date, which I believe it's coming out next year, if I'm not mistaken. But we did get to see the 5 people on there, and they sort of talked about it. And we also, I think what it said, September 3rd, 2025. So it's a long time away. Lottie, this show has been in the works for a long time. It's kind of unnecessarily long. So we learned about that. Daredevil Born Again. They brought
You said
people.
it's coming out a whole year later.
It's that's what the internet says. So,
Jesus.
the internet says September 3rd, 2025. So yeah, that's it's a long time from now. That could be wrong. That could be a wrong date though. We'll keep an eye on it, find out about it. Also, they talked about Daredevil Born Again, and I believe it did say they were releasing in March of 2025. So we're getting the first half of Daredevil Born Again, 2020 March 2025. In addition to that, so that was the live action. They talked about Captain America, New World, not New World Order, Brave New World. They showed a little bit more footage of Red Hulk and of Ross turning into Red Hulk and everything like that. And I understand they showed more Tiamat Island and stuff like that. And Joaquin Torres as the new Falcon. We don't have any of that footage, so we can't really speak to it. But that is my understanding of what was shown. Also, there was a Marvel animation kind of panel at D23. This is where stuff gets interesting. More interesting than you would think. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Lottie, you remember when this was supposed to be Spider-Man freshman year, like 4 years ago? They announced this.
Yeah.
They released more information.
Canceled show.
Yeah, it seemed like it was canceled, but they were still working on it. So here's the details we got. First of all, Peter Parker will be voiced by Hudson. I want to say Thames or Tate. I don't want to say Thames because I don't think that's right. But either way, who apparently I guess has played Spider-Man before in some other animated stuff. So he's going to be Peter Parker, and Coleman Domingo is going to be Norman Osborn. Yeah, Lottie, remember we saw those first kind of like character pictures of Norman Osborn, and we were like, man, his waves are like popping for real. Like he had mad waves. Like those waves ain't playing. I think Norman Osborn might be black in this thing. I really think. I was looking at the picture. I was like, I don't know. Either Norman Osborn is black, or he got the meanest tan possible. Like he got all the tan, because he looks black. I'm just saying. So, toxic fans, chime in. Let me know. Are you angry about this? So I can know. If you're angry about it, he's black. If you're not angry about it, he's probably still white. I don't know. Y'all let me know about it. So Coleman Domingo, who his most recent movie he was in was Color Purple, but he was also Oscar nominated last year. I forget the name of the movie he was Oscar nominated for, but he was also someone we talked about possibly replacing Kang, replacing Jonathan Majors as Kang. So great actor. Happy to see that. Happy to see that he's doing the voice work here. But we also got more details about what the show is actually about. Lottie, previously we thought, it was rumored that it was going to be the first year that the Peter Parker in the MCU was Spider-Man, right? But it appears that instead this is not Elseworlds, but like a multiverse story where this takes place in an alternate MCU where Peter Parker gets bitten by a spider that I guess follows through a portal when Doctor Strange from another dimension and Venom are fighting, like crossing dimensions and fighting each other. And he gets bitten by that spider and becomes Spider-Man. Also, Norman Osborn is not his enemy, but instead is his Tony Stark, his mentor. And finally, that at some point, in addition to all of the rogues gallery that we saw in those preview images, character images. Then because I remember we were looking at, we were like, man, these are some, these are cool Spider-Man villains, and we know who they are, but they are not in the MCU. How are where are these villains at? Because they're in another universe now. But also, he's apparently going to run into Daredevil, played by Charlie Cox, and Kingpin. And this is another thing that was sort of confirmed something that we had heard last year. So, Lottie, I've been talking a lot. That's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man detail. And also you can see like he got like this interesting, kind of cobbled together, suit. Kind of like, Peter in the MCU. So Lottie, I know you love Spider-Man. I know you know what it is all about. How you feel about all of this stuff? Are you getting excited for this?
I definitely want to go. I definitely want to give it a try. I definitely want to see what this is all about. Sounds pretty cool. Like I said, one thing that we always know, if you were a fan of '90s Spider-Man, Norman always had them waves. Like Ace Vane said, "You ain't even a brother, and your waves nice."
It's real though. If you I'm gonna show this picture. There's a big picture that has basically all of these characters on, and it's a ton of them. Like it's like one of them looks like a Venom, possibly a Venom. Definitely, there's Daredevil up in there, Doctor Strange. Like there's like there's Iron Man, and he looks like '90s Iron Man. He looks like Iron Man from the cartoons in the '90s. Iron Man. There's Doctor Octopus that looks like the Doctor Octopus we know from the comics in the night, and the series that that you've seen before. So this feels like a throwback, and I kind of can't wait. Like this feels like a throwback to like the Stan Lee Spider-Man, and I kind of mixed up with some of the new school stuff. I cannot wait. I'm super interested in this. What is it, Lottie? What's going on? Animation is kicking ass right now for superheroes. What is happening? Right? Are we living through another kind of golden age? Because it feels like it.
I think there's always been animation in when it comes to superhero stuff. It's just I think now it's more of like they're taking it more seriously, and they're making it more adult storylines. Like for example, DC for a long time was making animated movies for they've never stopped making animated movies, but I think now they're going more of an adult thing instead of like and I don't mean by like blood and guts and everything. I'm just saying in general as in it just becomes better, They're just making it just overall better, adding more adult stories to it. And that's one of the things that I think more people have to understand. There's a lot of potential in animation. I know there's people out here that are like, "Oh, animation is, it's for kids and stuff," but
then you show them Invincible. They're like, "Wait a minute,
yeah.
hold on a second."
Or you just, I mean, let's just state a fact. The manga industry is a billion-dollar industry that dwarfs the comic book industry. Those people, those Americans that are saying it's a cartoon, they're the minority at this point.
Well,
They
they
are when it
most
comes to
they most certainly. I think it's pretty clear that people under the age of 30 are a lot more tuned into anime, or they understand that. So it's not a hard sell to get them to watch. Then they also like the MCU. It's not a hard sell to get them to watch a Spider-Man anything, like at all. They're trained for that. Animation is cool too. And God help them if they ever decide to make Spider-Man J, the Japanese Spider-Man, into an animated or anime. Oof, print that fucking money, man. Like that's all I'm saying. It's dude, why are we're so lucky right now that I think what's going on, by the way, for why we're getting more animation. because it's cheaper than hiring these fucking actors and
Yeah.
sets and special effects and VFX. It's cheaper. You can do so much more in animation with less money, and all you gotta do is pay people to talk, and of course the animating process. The only downside is that the returns are somewhat less too because of the anti-animation sentiment. So, but I like that Marvel is leaning into it in a way to sort of use their IP in a effective way that doesn't require years and hundreds of millions of dollars of investment. So, we're gonna talk about Eyes of Wakanda. It's a show that we have not forgotten about, but Ryan Coogler came out to talk about it. It's going to be about the War Dogs. But here's the downside, and I'm just like, y'all are not losing me, but you're definitely, bringing my excitement down. It's only 4 episodes, man. Only 4 episodes. What's happening here? They better be 4-hour-long episodes. That's all I'm saying. Lottie, am I right?
Can you imagine 4 30-minute episodes?
I'll be so hot, you don't even know. I will. I'm just gonna be like, Kevin Feige, how dare you? Why would you make this if they're 30 minutes? Because 5 of those minutes are gonna be credits. I need 1 hour of storytelling, not 45 minutes, not 40, not 50 minutes, not 37 minutes. No, 1 hour. Fill that motherfucking hour with content, goddammit. I'm sorry.
At least it feels like 8.
Yeah, I'm just like, so I can feel like I watched something. Like, anyway, 4 episodes. Here's the real awesome thing. For me personally, the rest of you may not know this so much, but Iron Fist is going to appear, according to the creators. They didn't say his name specifically, but they mentioned that the heroes of 7 secret cities are going to show up. That was a direct reference to something I love dearly from Marvel Comics, and that is the Immortal Iron Fist. It's a comic book series from about 15 or so years ago, maybe 20, almost 20 years ago. I think it's about 15, 17 years ago. And it's fucking amazing. It's about Iron Fist learning, Danny Rand, learning that there are other people like him called the Immortal Weapons. So you know how Iron Fist, he's from, he lived in the mystical city of Kunlun, and he fought this dragon in order to get the power of the Iron Fist, right? Well, apparently there are 6 other cities just like that who also have people just like him who, pass some test or whatever, and they become the city's hero and protector. And at one point, they have to have a tournament where they have to fight each other to see where the seat, like where the mystical city, like the main one, is gonna be. And so he ends up. So you think Danny Rand? He kicks ass. He's fighting all these people, and they're like, there's a fat. You've already met one of them, Lottie. Fat Cobra from Hitmonkey is one of them. So you got Fat Cobra, but there's other people. There's Dog Brother number 1. He fights with dogs. The Bride of 9 Spiders, who she can fight, but also she spits out spiders, like literal swarms of spiders at you. Like the shit is so fucking epic. Like it's a epic ass run on a comic book, and they are incorporating that into Eyes of Wakanda. Because remember the War Dogs are all about keeping Wakanda secret. They're protecting Wakanda secrets, kind of like out in the world to keep people from finding out about them. And obviously they will try to infiltrate every powerful place on the planet. Why wouldn't they try to infiltrate these cities? So I'm just saying, like, as much as 4 episodes annoys me, the Iron Fist and the other immortal weapons appearing would be fucking dope, and I can't wait. Sorry again, Lottie, I'm talking a lot about this. You know Fat Cobra. At the least, are you looking forward to seeing him again?
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, man. Anything, anything hit monkey related, I'm down. You know I'm down for it. Hit monkey. Can't wait.
Yeah, Fat Cobra is dope though. Like he's legit. Like I wish there was a. I know you're probably not gonna read the comics, but I'm not kidding. It's though that comic book was like reading a one of those like 70s kung fu flicks, but like not one of the norm like the ones where there's mystical shit going on in it, but they're also kicking ass with kung fu. It's one of those things. It's so fucking good. I might have to dig them shits out of my long boxes. Anyway, the last thing they showed some Marvel Zombies footage. Lottie, they're gonna focus on apparently as the heroes of the show. I think it's 6 episodes too. But the heroes of the show are gonna be Katie, Shang-Chi, and of course Miss Marvel, and they got plenty of people to fight. So, at some point, I don't even know when it's coming out. I'm hoping it's next year, but Marvel Animation is doing its thing, man. It really is. They are really trying to make Marvel TV and Marvel Animation a big deal, a bigger deal, and to kind of use all of these properties to just get people more excited for the MCU. So, Lottie, are you looking forward to Marvel Zombies?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely, man. Listen, anything anime. You know how much I like the superhero animation, especially after what was that thing?
X-Men 97.
Yeah, X-Men '97. You already know. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, and of
I'm
course they talk.
definitely watching it.
Of course they talk about X-Men 97 that season 2 is in the works. They're gonna get a. The only thing they really confirmed is that there's a costume. They're changing their outfits to be more like the Grant Morrison new X-Men run, which is fitting because all of that stuff, like with Genosha and Bastion, everything was really from Grant Morrison's run on X-Men back in I think it's the late 90s, early 2000s. So very interesting. So we're going to keep an eye out on all of that. All of this information, of course, there are going to be more stuff released in the coming months over the next year. So we'll let you guys know all about that stuff when we hear about it. And finally, we can't just leave this without talking about the Agatha All Along trailer, man. It dropped as a part of D23. There was a really cool bit where they had the cast come out and they kind of sang this song, the Witch's Road song, which is kind of featured in the trailer. So that was all really interesting. But they dropped this trailer. I did a reaction video. You can go check it out on the channel. But Lottie, I kind of wanted to hear what you thought about this trailer, which for a show that I feel like I've been pretty highly anticipating. I think you've been anticipating it, but I don't know that you were like, oh, I'm super excited about this. But it's almost here, man. It's coming out in December. What do you think?
Oh, it's coming out in December. I thought it was coming out in October.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yeah.
Not December. I'm thinking of something else. It is coming out in October. It's coming out before
Oh yeah. Okay.
Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving, before Halloween. So yes, what do you think though?
I'm really of like I have to, even with this trailer, I gotta see the show before I can, like, I guess, truly say what I feel about it. You know what I mean?
Did you see the devil looking thing on fire? And people are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, is that Mephisto?" Everything's Mephisto now.
Everything is Mephisto.
It's
Is that Mephisto? It has to be.
I mean, they are witches, and they're talking about all sorts of stuff. It's an interesting trailer. Like, I really love the trailer. Actually, I'm very interested in what's happening in there and what's going to happen in the show. I just like they finally told us what the fuck the show is about, which is she needs to get her power back, so she has to walk the witch's road, and she's bringing all these people along. And Aubrey Plaza's character seems like she was dead and buried, but now she's not. There's some horror comedy stuff going on in here. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks horror, like horror comedy in the vein of like Evil Dead, Ash versus Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, that sort of thing. I don't know. So you're like, this could be good. It might be good. I don't know. I'm on the fence. Is that about right?
I gotta see it.
Yeah, it's.
I
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I gotta see it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I hear you. Yeah, it's, to me, I'm very optimistic that they're gonna do something, especially because Jack Schaefer is the one that's behind this, and she made WandaVision. So I've got a good feeling about this. So we shall see. But what did you guys think about the trailer? What did you think about what we had to say about it? You know what to do. Let us know in the comment section. So that's everything for this week. It's unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff going on I guess fortunately, there's a lot of stuff going on in the industry right now. People are hard at work making new things. Superman is going on. James Gunn is, doing his thing on Peacemaker and all that stuff. So there's lots that's going on. And, maybe we missed some news items. Maybe, we just didn't cover something you thought was important, or you had something to say about our commentary. Whatever the case may be, you know what to do. Get down to the comment section and leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up. supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, blurred_force1 on Instagram and Threads, super_not_funny show on TikTok. And while you're doing that, do us a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see this podcast and all of the other content that we make. And of course, I can't do this by myself. I need my good friend Lottie to help me out with all of this news and commentary. So Lottie, where can they reach you on the internet?
You can always find me on my Instagram and YouTube, which is Anukiniun. Again, it's Anukiniun, ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN.
Yep, you guys go check out Lottie on his channel, and hit him up on Threads. Lottie's got a lot of experience and knowledge about what's going on with gaming and computer technology and all that stuff. Especially if you want to fight about the best CPUs and GPUs. I feel like you would get some smoke from him. I'm just saying, if you want to have it, you guys go show him some love, though. And thanks again for joining us. This is episode 158, if you can believe it, of the Supercast. But yes, episode 158. It has been a good month for or at least a good 6 weeks for superhero stuff. But we got plenty more to look forward to as the year comes to a close. So thanks to everyone who's come out and supported us on the channel. We're at 442 subscribers, trying to get to 500 by the end of the year or sooner. That would be dope. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Let's get us up to 500 as soon as possible. So then we can start doing channel memberships and all that fun stuff. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Come back next week. So until then, I've been Mo, your comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.